In this video, we try the Nations Cup, where we witness bowling at turn 1. And I decide I want to date with Barrier as I go for a bit of a spin. Hello everyone and welcome to the Nations Cup. Yes, that's right, I did do these races. However, these are the videos from it and I didn't stream it, which is unusual for me, but you know, I didn't have time to stream. So I just did the races all the same because I wanted a bit of fun. So Lion starting in P1 there, a 130.7. We're starting in P4 with a 131.219. Not a very good qualifying time for us. However, we're starting in P4 and critically, we're on the hard tyre. So in this race, we have the hard and medium tyre available to us. And there was also a little bit of tuning available. You could affect the downforce, and that was it. And we are in the legendary Mercedes CLK as we head towards turn 1. Oh my goodness. There was an absolute... Oh my word. Absolute carnage behind. Oh my word. Absolute death as we head into this left-hander. And what we're going to do here, folks, is look at the cars ahead because they're all on the medium tyre, and I can tell that with the instant grip they have, which means we're in a pretty good position being on the hard tyre. The more we're in the slipstream of those medium runners, the more speed we get, and therefore the faster the harder tyre becomes without actually affecting or doing anything. Like here, we've got the slipstream, so we'll use that to our advantage. They do break away very quickly, and we've advanced all the way to lap 8 here, where literally we're going to come around the corner, and to confirm that, we are on the medium tyre there. TCR Scov coming in the pits. Shout out to you, my friend, as we continue on lap 10 now. We're going to come in the pits, as does Lion and Stardust. They're on the medium tyres. We were on the hard tyres. So, leaving the pits, and Scov goes by. Once again, shout out to you. And James goes by. Now, I wasn't racing James earlier on, so I can only assume James hasn't pit yet. So, we do need to get past James very quickly here. And being on the medium tyre now, we were on the hards, now the mediums. We should have a bit of a grip advantage being the softest tyre in the race. So into the left we go then. James goes a bit deep here, looking for the cutback if we can get it through. There we go. We do get a good run, not quite enough then. James going to go defensive then. We're going to stay towards this right hand side as we head towards this left. Then James tries to outbrake me here, goes a bit deep. We're going to go for the cutback here instead. Through on we go with that medium tyre up into P6. And there's a couple more people up ahead who haven't pit. They do eventually pit. And we do get in a fight with Scov here as we go through the left-hander. I'm going to head towards that braking zone then. And we know they're on the hard tyre now. And we're on that medium tyre as we go into here. And you can see they're just struggling with a bit of oversteer there. Through the right we go, the little kink. And we're going to head to probably one of the hardest corners on the circuit. This was very annoying in this car just because literally in dirty air you just understeered for days. Fortunately for me, we survive at this time. Scott there carries much more speed, even being on the harder tyre there as we head in towards this left-hander. Through there we go. Got exceptional grip on the exit because we keep up with Scott there straight away here. We're going to be in the slipstream then. 0.3 of a second to close down in this slipstream as we head on to this start-finish straight then. Closing. It's getting closer. We go towards our right-hand side. Scov is towards that left and in towards the braking zone. We go. Scov trying to keep it there. Just, through we go. Beautiful racing. But we do take that around the outside. Happy days indeed. So we've been trying to push ourselves here to the limits. And going through here, we just go off there, trying to push a bit too hard to try and catch up to Lion and Stardust. That's going to actually cost us 1.2 seconds at least there. Actually, we're in the 131.2s there. We should really be in the 30s in terms of top speed. But this is the first race. We did very little practice. This was straight after work. So, you know, straight in, off we go as we go off again, actually, believe it or not there, and lose even more time. We've really extended the gap to Scov behind, so we're just trying to push hard here, try and catch up, and hopefully not bin it as we leave that corner then. And once again, we're going to lose a little bit of time from that incident. We're going to advance towards the final lap then, where nothing really changes here. We didn't catch up, unfortunately. We've run out of tyres there. Down that bottom left, you can see no tyres on that rear right tyre. But hey, we still finished third there. Not too bad of a result for our first race. Moving up the grid, which is all you want to do, really. Move up the grid. Happy days. That was one position gained. However, we don't leave it there. We go again here. So we have a TX3 driver on pole. Who is that? That is the question. It is Stefanzi there. Stefanzi. We've raced Stefanzi many times. 130.6 there. We get in the 130.7s, which would have put us right towards the fronts there in terms of the race 1. Race 2, we're starting on hards in P2. Yeah, we're going for a real alternative strategy here. Now, normally, most people will start on the medium tyres and absolutely go for it when you're in this position. However, I'm not. I'm going to try and use Stefanzi here with the slipstream, get get a free lap with the hards if we can, and hopefully then make the overtake in the second part of the race. We'll see how it goes, and you will see how it goes as well as we continue on through here. So no major carnage this time into turn 1 as we go in to the left. But you see Stefanzi pulling away very quickly here as we go into the right. This was a much stronger lobby, I felt, than the previous lobby. We've got Mario Sonic behind me as well. Now, Mario wasn't catching me that quickly here. So I was like, okay, Mario must be doing the hards as well. This is going to get very interesting very, very quickly. We're going to advance actually a bit further on in the race now to lap number 4. And I was getting bored, so I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to come in the pits and try something different. Try a 2-stop here. Try a 2-stop because, you know, we're on hards. Everybody seems to be doing something wacky here. So into the pits I go. And we're going to leave. And unfortunately for me, the group or the mid-pack of cars had really slowed themselves up. And I'm actually going to look at catching them very quickly. And I didn't want that. I wanted to catch them at the very end of their stint at the start of mine. You see Midnight there going for a bit of a spin on turn 1. And you can see that here, lap 6. We're already up to them. So this strategy is already going down the pan. So I'm going to have to make moves very quickly here against everybody. Really try and push on if I can as we go off a little bit. So it's 20 seconds roughly for a pit stop. And we're 23 seconds behind then as we head into the left. Bob there just clipping the barrier after getting it all sorts of wrong in that very hard left-hander. We're going to advance past Bob then. Cheers, Bob. And continue on through the little kink here and onto that straight. And Bob just getting a bit of understeer there. You know, with that dirty air, which I do complain about a lot. I do think it needs sorting. But even so, we're here in the race and we do have to sort it ourselves in the race at the time. So catch up to Janos here. Now, Janos goes towards that left-hand side and actually, dies to the barrier there. I have no idea what happened. But hey, we'll take P10 up on the fastest lap of the race, which is a 1:31.7 at the moment. To the left we go, and we're off. Oh, we hit the barrier. Fortunately, no penalty. Fortunately, no penalty there, and we are going to try and keep this position as we go in a bit deep here. You have to really be careful on accelerating here with those dirty tyres. We advance further on there, and we catch up to Big Boy, or Biggie Boy, as we head in to the left, and that's my OnlyFans name, apparently. Yeah, who knew? Anyway, I don't have OnlyFans, don't worry. We carry on into the right then, catching up to another Hungarian here as we head up towards this fast left then into that long acceleration period. So you need a good run out this corner, and that is what we're aiming to do here. We do get a good run. Look at that. We're already catching Biggie Boy even before the slipstream really kicks in then. So where's Biggie Boy going to go then? And they're going to go towards the right. In fact, were they indicating? I'm not too sure whether that's the glow or an actual indication there. In towards the braking zone we go. And we do get it. So, a little bit deep though. A little bit deep. Just carried a bit too much speed. Oh, Biggie Boy loses the rear end there. That dirty air. Making sure they get a bit of oversteer. Power oversteer. As we then catch up towards, or looking to catch up towards Just Dio. Then we're coming up to this left-hander. Again, try and get slowed as much as possible. Through we go. We nail that very nicely indeed. Going to go down the inside of Just Dio and in towards that braking zone. So we're not really catching Stefanzi at the moment at all. Just due to the traffic. That gap stayed relatively the same, and that was a bit of frustration from my part because I was hoping the mid-pack would be much further up and I'd be catching them around now to getting a couple of those fast laps in. You know, we lost 2 seconds on the previous lap, a second on the lap before that. You know, that's 3-4 seconds right there where we could have been much closer to Stefanzi. We'll see what Justio does. Heading towards turn 1, Justio decides to stay behind, which is probably the smart move here, knowing I had been in the pits and I was catching very quickly and also had the fastest lap as well. So lap number 10, Stefanzi comes into the pits. There you can see Mario was also on the medium tyres, which surprised me because I was still in P2 on lap 4. So maybe I was in a shot of winning this race. If I just carried on with the normal strategy. So we advanced to lap 12 here. Stefanzi just ahead 2 seconds. Now remember, I lost 3 seconds earlier on. Just think of what that could have been in terms of lap time. In fact, we lost another 1.5 seconds there on lap 9 with that racing as well. So, you know, that's 5 seconds. We could have been ahead of Stefanzi. 5 seconds up the road, 16 seconds ahead. So we'd have been ahead of Tom here. We'd have been ahead of Ian as well. I've seen that's Ian. I've just declared your name before I even know it there. We're up again on our fastest. Well, no, actually on the fastest lap today. It's 31.0. We're going through here though. We're just going to lose it a little bit. Clip the barrier. Trying to catch the car. We go for a bit of a spin. Once again, that dirty air catching me out behind Tom. Very frustrating because, you know, if we were 5 seconds up the road, we could have potentially there been already ahead of these guys and already pushing on. So, you know, that would have been in the 16 seconds. So we're going to add another, I don't know, 4 seconds. What was that? Did we lose? Oh, we lost a lot, actually. We lost 7 seconds there. 12 seconds up the road we could have been, which is 7 seconds behind Stefanzi at this moment in time. A fight there goes for a bit of a spin. We do have the fastest lap of the race. If we got towards the end of the race, we wouldn't have potentially caught them either because, you know, that was going to be around yeah, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Serenity potentially would have won that race all the same. We probably would have come P2. So let's go for a normal strategy in this final race. Let's try and get a win, shall we? Let's try and get a win. So here we go then with this final race. Where am I starting? I'm using a generic livery. Is that me in P1? Is it? Is it? Is it? No, it's not. We got Paquet there, or Pax, I have no idea. And I've got P5 there. 30.9 is what we got. So not as quick as our previous one. And here we go. We've got Midnight ahead of us, Castrillan, Gerard, and of course Paquet there in the lead. So going to head towards turn one. Once again, we're starting on the hard tyre here, just because I feel like this is the better strategy. Starting on the hard tyre and finishing on the... Oh my word, that was close. Behind, I'm not sure who that was, but they came very close. They avoided me though, so fair play. Good sportsmanship there for avoiding me as we continue on through. Some people would have just hit the back of me to slow themselves down there and carried on. You didn't, so I say fair play to you. Into the left then, we've got Midnight going for the move on Castrillan, then down the inside, there you go, and Midnight gets that position. Was it a good move? Was it not a good move? I'm not too sure, because they sort of got on the inside. It looks like they did make the apex. In fact, with the push, they actually went over the apex as Castrillan goes off. We nearly do the same thing there, but we survive this. Now, once again, everybody ahead of me, including Castrillan behind me, is on the medium tyres. Medium tyres, okay, so we're the lead hard runner. We're actually really good on the hard tyre for some reason. I've no idea why, but hey, we'll take it. Through the right we go then. Castrillan with dirty tyres and dirty air there, going all sorts of places there with that understeer. So through the left we go and continue on out then. Castrillan very close to me, caught up to me once again on that medium tyre. So I'm not going to fight this too much, you know. This is the point where I need to use them, not fight them, in terms of getting that slipstream. So we're going to head in towards the braking zone. And here we go then. The one thing I did not think about, of course, was the corner coming up with dirty air. And you know the corner I'm talking about. And I'm pre-telling you what's about to happen here. So apologies for this, but let's see how bad it actually is. Coming into here then. Gonna brake, try and turn the car through the corner, but I get nowhere here, and I head off to the realms, and I hit the barrier there. So we're now losing time here. It's at least 1 second lost, probably 2 seconds lost. We've got dirty tyres as well, so potentially it's going to be 3 seconds lost. So here we go. So that's 2 seconds easy lost to Castrillan. Remember, if they didn't make that mistake earlier on and spin, potentially we wouldn't have lost that time. So it's about 3 seconds we lost there in terms of time. Midnight comes in on lap 8 then, so showing they're on the medium tyres. Then the rest of the leaders come in, also on the medium tyres. So, you know, we lost 3 seconds there. 3 seconds. We're actually pitting a lap later this time, so we have some tyres at the end to fight. As you know, on the first race, we didn't have enough tyres there. So we're coming out in P4 here. Justio coming up really quickly then, round the outside. And we're actually going to try and launch it down the inside of Justio very quickly, just because I wanted to get that position done and dusted. They could have been even in chat there as that happened. Anyway, we've advanced to lap 16 now. We're in the 30s now. This is where I should be, so I'm showing I do have a little bit of pace here. Oh, Castrillan into the barrier there. Into the barrier. So potentially looking at the podium already here. 7.5 seconds off the leaders as we go through the right-hander. Remember, we lost 3 seconds with Castrillan earlier on when they got ahead and I got the dirty air and, you know, hit the barrier quite hard. So 3 seconds. We should be 4.4 seconds off, not 7.4. As we head into turn 1 then, and we'd actually be very close to Gerard then if that was the case. Now we did catch up to Gerard here, 5 seconds to the leader then. Can we do it in a lap and a half? That is the question. Through there we go. Oh, Jared gets a bit of oversteer then, but once again we're behind them coming up to this corner. I hate this corner with a passion. You see we've got 2 30s there on the right hand side, so coming into this corner then, I'm looking to slow it down massively here. I just hate that dirty air. And through we go, at least nice and clean in. Gerard there goes defensive then. Oh. I wonder what that was going on then. That was the server telling me that they were going straight on to Narnia, and then they decided not to go to Narnia there as we continue on out of there and up into P2 then. Now Gerard, of course, is going to fight this on the last lap. They have everything to fight for here, nothing to lose in the slightest as we head on to this final lap then and on towards turn 1. So we're going to stay defensive here in towards turn 1. We go Gerard looking down the outside, turning a bit early there because I was still there, but no worries. Maybe they were a bit scared about obviously being punted off. I'm not going to do that, my friend, as we go through the left-hander. They're just off the racing line, so don't have as much grip here. So we go ahead of Jared then in towards the left. Now, of course, with this fighting, we're losing hand over fist of time towards the leader then, because it's up towards 6 seconds now. But, you know, we've had a good fight here. You know, we lost a second in the last lap, and we gained a little bit of time at the end there. But we're going to come home in P2. That is the last race. I'm going to finish this video there, and I do hope you enjoyed it. This was a brilliant little Nations Cup race. Fair play to whoever made this. Good little bit of strategy there. I reckon reckon a two-stop could work as long as you didn't catch traffic straight away like I did. Actually, before I disappear with this video, let's actually jump to the blooper of Turn 1, Race 1 and see exactly what happened there, because that was a bit of a mental crash. Here we are then with the perpetrator, should I say. We're going to head towards Turn 1, and they're just not going to brake. At the very end there, absolutely wipe out everybody there. So I'm not sure whether that was hardware failure or not. They slowly now just come back on and down the gears. I don't know, it all seemed very odd to me, like they were very distracted. Looking at it from this perspective from Fike, look at it, it's just like literal bowling there. Actual bowling happening on Turn 1, lap 1. But that's going to be it for me, folks. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please do give it a like. Subscribe to the channel, stay in touch with all the latest content as always. But that is going to be it for me, folks. Have a good one wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.